coffee gone cold. Finger on the trigger. Heart runs bold. Tick tock tick. Red turns green. Is this that flip or the start of a scene? Every candle feels like a question. Every heartbeat bets on direction. I'm caught in the curve of the line, right on the edge of the sign. Oh, turn or trend, they both bend, riding that swing to the very last, stand up and down. Again, again, are we in a storm or a perfect friend? Turn or trend, they both bend. I can feel it in the air like wind blow right through. Break then blend, I just wanna dance it out. Turn or trend, screen glow bright, midnight dance. One more move, one more chance. Stop lost tight, but my hope runs wide. Do I bail right now or let this ride? Every signal talks like it knows me. Every move could crown me or ghost me. I'm tracing the arc in my mind, chasing the shape I can't find. Hey, turn or trend, they both bend, riding that swing till the very last, stand up and down. Again, again, are we in a storm or a perfect friend? Turn or trend, they both bend. I can feel it in the air like wind blow right through. Break then blend, I just wanna dance it out. Turn or trend, spin that doubt, round and round. Hear that hush in the crowd. Is it just a twist or the start of a run? I'm lost in the gust, but it feels like fun. Oh yeah. Turn or trend, they both bend, riding that swing till the very last, stand up and down. Again, again, are we in a storm or a perfect friend? Turn or trend, they both bend. I can feel it in the air like wind blow right through. Break then blend, I just wanna dance it out. Turn or trend.
Screens glow, coffee steam, chart lines, laser beams, bell rings, heartbeat sway, click, scalp the day. Got my finger on the trigger, tiny moves, big thrill, little candlestick flicker, chasing every small fill. Green flash, red flash, I'm surfing every wave, telling myself I'll quit, but I love this arcade. Every tick feels louder than the band in my head, floating on momentum, not the plan that I read. I say it's just one more, but I'm already late, lost in the ladder, dancing with fate. Scalp the day away, ride that price parade, up down, I stay till my worries scalp the day away. In this fever haze, one more trade, I say scalp the day away. Disco ball on the ceiling, charts on every side, troubles past when I'm winning, float side when we slide. Stop lost in the corner, but I keep creeping tight, chasing that perfect entry like a strobe in the night. Every feels under the spin, I'm glued to the screen, heartbeat on the hi-hat pulsing through the machine. I know I should step back, let the numbers just breathe, but I'm stuck in this shuffle. Can't leave, scalp the day away, ride that price parade.
Good morning. How you like that high note? I love that high note. Scalp the day away. Good morning, good evening, guys. Everybody good? Welcome to Wednesday. What I'm going to be doing straddle trades today? No, not for FOMC minutes. Not for that pussy ass event. No. We are going to do straddle trades Friday. And you know what, guys? Apex 90% off. This is the time. This is the place. Go out there and go get the accounts. We're going to buy accounts. Today, tomorrow, we're going to just inventory all those accounts because the straddles are going to be coming on Friday for GDP. And I'm hoping, I'll see if I'll check with Austin. I'm hoping Austin is going to come join us, which will be a lot of fun, for GDP Day. But yeah, we're looking for GDP Day. 90% off. Go out there, go get crazy. Absolutely. It's right there for you. Another good piece of news for you guys. Check this out. I'm putting the link right here for you. All right. Click that link. Tell me if you like what you see. Click that link and tell me if you like. I'm going to click the link with you here for just 1 second to show you what this is. Check this out. What do you think about that? The full, complete, totally discrete dots video. Now, what's even better is if you click this link, you're going to you download the PDFs. So now you don't have to ask me, what does this mean? It's all in there. That's it, baby. Weekend's worth of work with my friend Claude. But I hope you guys really, really like it. It should be really, really useful for everybody. This is the dots guide. Can I laminate it? No, Tony. But it's pretty complete. I mean, there's a lot of shit in there. Honestly, Tony, at this point, it's really a function of how you trade, not the trade setups. Because trade setups are always going to work and not work. There's no way to make them work perfectly. The key is, how do we make these things work the best possible way? Because these are the best possible setups for what we are doing. Zero doubt in my mind. I actually had this crazy idea. Kay had like this trend meter, and I went down the rabbit hole at 1 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't sleep last night. So the dogs woke me up. I went to Forex Factory, and some guy was talking about slope alignment, trend alignments, and I was like, oh, that's an interesting idea. Let me see if I can do a slope. I went like into this deep idea of like, hey, what if we do slope alignments with this trend meter? Is that going to give me any better entries? And you know what? Do you know what? It's the same fucking thing as the dots, except 10 times more complicated and zero X's. The bottom line is there is no golden or El Dorado. There's just the best possible structures in the simplest possible way that you need to be able to trade effectively. So that's where we stand. We got about 25 minutes before the open, so we still have time to trade some simple setups. We may have one coming up right now. Remember, the simple setup, the simple scalp setup. I just thought of, I said simple setup. It made me think of Simple Jack from what's oh my god. Oh my god, I can't believe the Ben Stiller movie with Tom Cruise. I forgot the name of the movie. All right, whatever it is. It just made me crack up. Come on, guys. What is the name of what Tom Cruise plays Lou Grossman? What's the name of the movie? Tropic Thunder. Yeah, I was thinking Stealing Thunder. Tropic Thunder, right? Thank you. It made me think of Simple Jack, which I thought was hilarious. Now, this is actually kind of a super interesting, very weird setup, because what's happening here is we have a sell Christmas tree, and actually above the SMA sell signal on this, we're going to take this if it holds, because it's legit simple scalp. It's just weird that, because volatility is kind of very tight. Momentum actually like kind of overflowed over the SMA. But still giving us a signal. Let's see, 16, 17 seconds left. We're still trading. It's pre-New York, pre-open. We're still trading 5.15s. When New York opens, we're going to trade 10.30s. Okay? Let's see if this is going to hold. Nope. Oh, yeah, it does hold. All right, we're short. Where am I? Oh, I'm at 43. I'm in the wrong count. Okay, shit. Okay, let me put this myself into 43. I put myself into 45. All right, let's see if this is going to work. Maybe not. But it's worth a shot. Okay, let's see if this plays out. So, I'm having enormous amount of consistent success with a simple scalp strategy, trading it across my 10 funded accounts, literally on 1 micro per trade, right? And I'm constantly like, I could copy this. I could increase size. I could do also, I should be doing this. I should be, bunching it up. And then I just sort of said to myself, shut the fuck up. Trade this for literally at least a week, but honestly, 10 days, like 2 weeks. Get at least 1,000 samples. If it's good, fine. Study from those samples, and maybe we can improve the technique. I think I do this. I think everybody falls into this trap of like, oh, something is working. Let me amplify it 10 times faster before I really, really have intimate historical knowledge of what it's doing. So I'm going to just do this bullshit 1 micro for the next 10 trading days, with a few repairs, sprinkled in between as my only structure. And if that means all these accounts grow by only a couple of $100 over the next 2 weeks, I don't give a shit. It's about the next, 20 years, not the next 2 weeks, that I want to be able to have a control over it. These are all funded accounts. Every account I'm trading now are all funded. Because I went to 20, then I burned 2 of my funded accounts by actually, what am I doing? Tilting with size. And so now I have 18 left, and I'm like, that's it. I'm just trading 1 micros, and I'm going to grow these fuckers. If I have to grow them like, $50 a day each account, that's what I'm going to do. But more importantly, it's not even about that. It's about taking data. It's about really, really committing to the setup for a very, very long time to understand where the nuances are, where the potential improvements could be in terms of size, structure, risk-reward ratios, all that kind of stuff, volatility stuff. All of those things can be a play, right? So I'm sitting right now. The other thing is, like, you also see the beautiful thing about having multiple setups is in these very low volatility structures, you could actually have contravailing signals, right? Like if you just took the Christmas tree, like in Asia yesterday, we were just taking the Christmas tree setup because there's just no continuity. And here it is. Now it's gone the other way. So I'm going to go to my 45 account as a perfect example, right? So I may get stopped out on one. I'm going to take the trade in the other if it holds. And having multiple accounts gives you multiple flexibilities to take trades as you see fit. It just gives you more flexibility, and that's the whole thing, is to try to gather as much flexibility as possible, so that when we are ready to amplify this, we have the best data set to work from. All right, so we're gonna go long on this one to Control B. Simple scalp to the upside. The simple scalp to the short side is floating against us. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here on the resolution. Anybody having issues with your wealth charts? I haven't logged into wealth charts. I'm going to log in a little bit later. Lee's asking me, so when New York opens, you're trading here. You know what? Let me put all your comments. Hold on a second, guys. Let's put all your comments on the screen so you guys can actually see them. So Lee's asking me, when I'm trading New York, when New York opens up, Lee, I'm trading, my ratio is 40 ticks by 120 ticks in NASDAQ. Right now, my ratio is 20 ticks by 60 ticks. Correct. Yeah, that's it. Astrologist says, well, charts are working. I'll log into them a little bit later. We're clearly in a very, very tight thing. There was I actually had a nice run over here, like from 7 o'clock. There was just like there was actually great. This was a super good couple of hours where you had beautiful scalps upside, beautiful scalps to the downside. Intraday, which one just got done? The short got done. Look at that. The short got done. The one that I thought was absolutely dead. Now the long actually is under threat, but that's fine. That's nature of the beast. We had like a two signal structure. So short, still waiting for the shorts. See if maybe we get another short. If that happens, by the way, let's rotate to. Basically, all I'm doing is I'm going to rotate accounts to every single trade. Anything that's a red trade, I come back to that account a little bit later. Try to obviously find myself in the best possible setup and try to resolve that trade. Because the sizes are so small, my resolution is really, really small. Even if the resolution doesn't work, I can resolve the resolution. Now, if you're in a situation where you're essentially going to be a 3 stop out loser, then just simply let it go. Even if I were to go 1, 3, 9s, my total loss would be only 10% of my drawdown, right? But that should not happen. You need, when you're taking like the resolution trades, you want to be really in a good, you want to find yourself in situations where there's incredibly high probability. So lots of volatility, big movement, and obviously all this, taking only the setup as prescribed. So far, I've been able to resolve every loser. No, yeah, Goat. I know that if you're long and short on the same account, if you're long and short the same instrument in the account, they don't like it. But if you're doing it I'm doing, generally I don't do it, right? But first of all, if you're doing it super small size, they really don't give a shit. What they don't want to do. They don't want the straddles in funded. What they don't want is they don't want somebody straddling in the fund. If you're like, oh, I'm $10 down here, I'm $5 up here, they really don't give a shit. But more importantly, because it's not the same price, I'm not straddling the same price. I'm coming in at different prices. It's actually a different setup, and I could justify to them. I could say, listen, I'm trading off my indicator. The indicator gave me a buy in this instance and a sell in this instance, and the volatility was just too tight. And as long as you can justify it to them, they don't give a shit. But honestly, the way I trade, this is the reason why. This is the most successful approach to the Apex payout structure, because I don't commit maximum adverse excursion. I don't use large size. What they hate is people using huge amount of leverage, getting lucky, and getting payouts, right? If you're grinding it out for like 2 months and you reach the targets, they're super happy because they know that's you're going to be scalping like that forever. And then they're super happy in terms of funding. But you need to, okay, we got a sell signal here. You see this? As long as it holds. Where am I? In the 46. We're going to be in the 46 account. Okay. Let's see if it holds. Does not hold. Okay. So we hang tight. Still in the London session. We went from session highs to session lows. About 140 points, hanging in there. So, do you understand what I'm saying, Go? Were you like when you did that? Did you do that on size? Did you do that like with a mini, or was that just on tiny micros? And they said, no, you can't do it. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We're simple scalping our way to profit, hopefully, with my DOTS indicator. Those of you who came in new, I have finally put together the whole system online. Go ahead and download it. Get the PDFs. Go crazy. Here's the link, okay? And also, do me a favor. Go buy some Apexes. They're 90% off. we're gonna buy some 25s to trade for Friday, so that we can get. I'm gonna refund my 2 other accounts. Oh, and you know what I'm gonna do on Friday? We're gonna do 2 things. Ben, tell me if this is kosher. I think it should be kosher. We're gonna do a wealth chart straddle where we're gonna go long NAS, short S&P, or the other way around, in correct ratios to see if we can get funded that way too. Anybody done the correlation straddle in wealth charts? Since you're not allowed to do direct straddles in wealth charts. Ben says that's going to work. Okay. What? Rejected your comment. This is fairly common when sharing the link. What the fuck? What is going on here? Can't post comments to some. Really? What the fuck? What is going on, dude? All right, let's try this way. All right, here we go. Here's the link. Ben says he did 4 ESs with 64 ticks for 50K, and it worked. Okay, so we're gonna work out all those ratios on Friday. Playbook is great. You guys like it? Very nice. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Took a couple of tries to get that look and feel right, but it does have, explain everything step by step, and it's sort of very methodical. And it also, I think, opens you up to lots of, like, for those of you guys who are much more of a swing trader, even day trader, in the sense that you want to hold positions, intraday, it opens you up to lots of different possibilities, because all those strategies are absolutely open to, to much bigger, longer variations than just scalping. I'm just teaching scalping because that's what I like to do. That's what I'm good at. And also, it's the strategy that is the most conducive to not violating all of the rules. Although I will say, there are some props, like Tradeify, for example, has a 1-minute hold on its trades, which would be like disastrous for us to trade, because half my trades resolve in 30 seconds. So, everybody's got their shtick. You reversed the accounts across one at a time. For a minute, they were opposing setups and they were flagged, and it wouldn't have anything to do with listening to my argument to support. Yeah, well, I understand but you did a sort of a cancel and reverse. That's not what I do, right? So I don't think it would have triggered. But yeah, I totally understand how that happens a lot to people, where people are like in one direction, then they're trying to reverse direction, but like they're not doing it in one single click. They're doing it sequentially. So one account is long, the other one is short, while you're trying to reverse, and that traps you, against their rules. They don't like that. Yeah. By the way, so how I was like, oh, look at Tradeovate. They got this beautiful trade copier. So as I dove deeper into it, I realized what kind of bullshit everything about Tradeovate. I mean, I love being able to trade through TradingView because it's very, very clean. And it is a pretty fast platform. I'll give it that. But man, it should be called half-assed Tradeovate. Everything in that platform is half-assed, including the fact that when you do a trade copier, they don't allow you to do bracket orders. Like, what the fuck is the point of letting me do trade copy if you don't let me do stops and targets on a bracket basis? Like, what am I supposed to do? Watch the trade and exit myself out on hotkeys? It's just like the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. So that goes into the bucket of bullshit. And I'm gonna search around to see, because I do think that there is some merit to doing couplets. Like, like if I have 10 accounts, a very minimal amount of leverage is when you double up. Like, you do the same trade for 2 accounts. So you're still doing very, very low level trades, but now you're kind of doubling your possible. Let's say I have 40 trades possible during the day, which I certainly do. Now it's effectively like me having 80 trades, because each one of those trades is propagated through 2 accounts, not through 1. So you kind of lever through frequency, which I like. Like that's there are 2 ways to lever in the stock. I actually should write a post about that. Oh, hey guys. Yes, just wanted to show you this. I totally forgot. If you I went on Fox yesterday, which just proves that my turn to the right is now complete. But with Liz Clayman, who I haven't seen in ages, such a sweetheart. And it was actually a really interesting conversation. We talked about AI software. So if you guys are interested, I pinned the. It's a 2-part thing because Twitter won't let me put more than 2 minutes on video, but it's part 1 and part 2 in the thread. Go out there, take a look. It's an interesting conversation about AI software and everything else. So yes, now I guess I have now completely turned to the right. She's great. She's good. Have I requested what? Backcast's order? I don't understand the question. So I will rephrase the question so I can understand it. Could he put our whatever? Sorry, I don't. Hello, Clean. How are you? Wait, so what if, so I was talking about leverage. Right? So there's 2 ways to practice leverage. It's actually, I think, worth doing a long Twitter article on this. The first way is the most common way. I take $1, I borrow 100. That's my leverage. Or I take $10, I borrow 10 times that amount to 100. I go 10x leverage, 100x leverage. That's what everybody does, right? A mortgage is a leverage. You put down $20,000, you control a $200,000 house, right? That's the typical way. If that's true, you will quit listening as they lack veracity. Wait, what are you talking about, Green? First of all, I got to tell you, Fox Business is completely different from Fox News because they're just a pure business channel. So, suspend your prejudice. I'm just kidding around. I'm not going on Fox News, so you don't have to worry about it. I'm not becoming Ben Shapiro, even though I'm turning much more towards Ben Shapiro than I used to be before. And you should too. You should open up your fucking mind and get out of your Leninist Marxist thought patterns, and you will understand where the truth lies. You sure as fuck should not follow AOC. Okay? I mean, if you think AOC is smarter than Ben Shapiro, the problem is with you, not with anybody else. You can disagree with both points of view, but generally, who do you want to follow on an intellectual basis? I'll leave that to you. Okay, so it's Jesus Christ. Please don't start. Please don't start. If there's a person I hate 1,000,000 times, 1,000,000,000,000 times, 1,000,000,000,000 times more than I hate AOC, it's Candace Owens. In fact, I consider them to be, birds of the same feather. Morons on display. Just, flip sides of the same coin. Oh, I truly despise her. Okay, we gotta sell signal. We can't take it. All right, we're gonna chill. We're gonna chill. It's 4 minutes to the open. We're gonna chill. No sell signals. This is gonna be 1,000 trades coming up for us, so we'll leave it alone. Wait, what's this talking about? Oh, I was talking about leverage. All right. I was talking about leverage. So, as I said, this normal way of doing leverage is you know, like a mortgage. You put 20,000, you own 200,000. What we do in Apex is leverage. Average Apex gives you $2,500 of drawdown against like $500,000 worth of buying power, right? Just a ridiculous amount of buying power. Too much leverage, and we all notice because everybody blows up accounts specifically because of that, right? There's a second way to create leverage, and this is what I'm talking about using Trade Copier for frequency of trading. How many of you guys know the store Zara, right? Which is like what's known as a fast fashion store. It's actually a super interesting story. I find the guy fascinating. He's one of the richest guys in the world. You never hear him say a word. He's completely uneducated. He came from like a poor family in Spain. He runs literally the best retail operation in the world. He's almost probably at $100 billion valuation, right? But what was his enormous insight into retail? It was that you can achieve leverage through borrowing. Like, you know, I'm going to take 10,000 and buy $100,000 worth of clothes and put them on the rack and hope I can sell them all. Or you can achieve it through turnover. I'm going to take $10,000 worth of clothes, put them on a rack, and flip them over in 2 weeks. Ortega, right? Flip them over to just sell every fucking thing out, and then put another $10,000 and put another $10,000. So if you take $10,000 and flip it 10 times in a month, I'm just giving you a hypothetical example. It's the same thing as taking $10,000, borrowing for $100,000 and leaving it on a month, right? Much lower risk because your capital is only $10,000. It's kind of a cash on cash, but the same effect of creating enormous amount of leverage through turnover. And so that concept is a really, really good concept for trading. Scalping is sort of like that's the whole idea. We make lots and lots of trades, flipping over those trades, trying to get all those points, right? Like yesterday, we made yesterday in Asia, we made about 75 NASDAQ points and at least 25 gold points, right? Today already, we only just made 2 trades. So like, I guess it's just 5 NASDAQ points. Oh, you know what? I'm yapping. It's 9:30. It's time for us to flip to the 40-120 structure, meaning 10-point targets, 30-point stops on all the trades, because volatility, I'm hoping volatility expands. We got this 9:30. I need to see some expansion of volatility, but yeah, here we go. Here comes the first candle, 50 points on the expansion. Yeah, Ortega. 70 points. We are expanding. So that's the idea. The idea of leverage through turnover is a much more controlled fashion, a controlled way of achieving big results with a much smaller capital base, right? And it's much smaller risk on a capital base. Because you're not borrowing against that capital base, you're just using that capital base over and over and over again, right? All right, we're opening up. Actually, broke the London low. If we get a red dot on the low, we'll trade it. That's not part of the simple scalp, but we love to trade session highs, session lows. So we'll see how that goes. If we get a reversal the other way, we may take it the other way too. This is my own little version of ORB. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Mic check, sound check, vibe check, gut check, all sorts of checks. Everybody good? Don't forget, Apex 90% off. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pin this thing over here for you guys. I'm going to pin this. I wish you could pin more than just one. Let me put this on here. Pin message. Okay, I put the Apex link over there. 90% off, guys. Redunculous. Hey, Camor, how are you? Who's new in the room, guys? Anybody new in the room? You want to know what the fuck we're doing? Give me a +1. Give me a +1 with a question mark. That way, that would be like that's your communication sign. I'm new in the room. I don't know what we're doing. Come on, say hello. I know there's a bunch of you new guys lurking in the room. I see you. All right, we're kind of a little tight. Nothing much going on. Hey, JP Zone. Question mark. You're a dot head. Oh my God. That's funny. So JP Zone, first of all, here's a link for you, okay? I actually literally just today made a full playbook of our stuff. Go ahead down there, download it, take a look at the structure. It's both a web page and a PDF that attach it. All right, we are session highs dots. Are we doing a 90 point candle? No, we're just dicking around. You had me. You had me at the highs, and then you lost me. All right. This is one of those kind of days. By the way, this is what I love the dots indicator. You know what? I'm gonna kill the VWAP. VWAP is just boring me. You see how when we're just doing the flush, up and down, up and down, up and down. Let's see how many stops I can take on the top side, then bring them to the downside. We don't have, we're like chill. We have zero signals. We can just watch this while everybody else gets slaughtered. Like, look how good the indicator is at just not, falling for the bullshit. Let it establish a trend, and then we go. Let it establish a trend, and we just go. These are, I guess, doji candles. It's more like that they are sort of, up, first of all, these are ridiculous. There's literally range candles. Like, we're taking out range highs, range lows all day long on these candles, right? But we can't seem to break the box, right? That's the thing. We want to break the box. By the way, this is a book. I don't know how. I'm actually curious how many of you guys have heard of this. Nicholas Davros, How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market. Anybody ever heard of that book? Nobody? I'm just curious. It's a very old book. It's from Madman days. Nobody's ever heard that book? Yeah, Darvis. Yeah, some few people in the room have heard of it. Yes. All right. So this is honestly probably the greatest book on trading you will ever read. Written by a guy who is a dancer. It is super. There's so many interesting ideas in that. And frankly, I sort of stole a lot of these things subconsciously from him, I think, in the dots structure. I really wish I could trade like him and hold his positions when he did. But they're just, honestly, it literally is the best book of momentum you will ever see. Let me find it on Amazon for you guys. And I'll give you the come on. God help me if I know how to type, right? It's Darvis. How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market. There we go. It's an audiobook. Oh, it's an audiobook. Wow. I didn't even know they did an audiobook. But here, what you want is you want the paperback. You actually want to read this. It's worth reading. Let me put this over here. Where's the link? Copy link. Is there a short link? Because Amazon always creates these ridiculously long links. Where's the truncated link? I don't know if I'm able to post this. Biggest Loser wins. Not even like 10% of the value of this book, in my opinion. Okay. But really, really worth reading. All right, we probing the lows here at this 740 and just yanking us around. So good for us. We're not committing to any trades because we don't have any signals. But it'd be interesting to see if they want to break the lows here, the 740. If they want, do they want to run to 700? There's a newer one. How do you mean? The old the old you would try to buy the bottom thinking that it's a reversal. You might be. But you know when it's a reversal? When I take out the session highs, that's when it's a reversal. Holy shit, look at this. They keep on going. Wow, look at that. Now we're just buying the highs. Now we kind of got to commit to this trade. We're taking out the session highs. Let's see. Control B. All right, let's see if this is going to work. Maybe. Maybe it's just a yank jump, but at least there's a legit commit here to this particular trade. Now we're just yanking. Wow. Now we just, I think at this point we just let it go until they actually create fresh highs. Not worth it. We keep going to the next account. This trade didn't work because we just didn't break the highs. And this may just do this for the next half an hour, at which point there's no trades. We're just not going to trade. What we need is for this thing to actually close through the highs and hold the highs. That was the mistake I kind of made here. It needed to have held the highs. Did not do that, so we are going to wait. Yeah, it's really like a. This is, we've traded this, 100. I don't think this is a signature I've seen in 100 days of trade, where we had we're literally at the point of what they call point of control, where just pure equilibrium. We're just literally not moving, and the buyers and sellers are just beating each other to death in the middle. What was that? What was that World War I battle? Was it Somme? Where they fought for 4 years over 100 yards. This is what this is like. Who's the history buff here that's gonna correct me on my historical stuff? All right, at least we're getting a Christmas tree signal here. So if we get, and actually nice volatility on it too. All right, we're at am I on the 47? Yeah, I'm going to be in the 47. Look at that. Does not hold. Wow. Wow. Holy shit. Look at this. What's going on? What's going on with the world today? It was some. Right, there you go. See, look at this. Sometimes the brain works. But this is like the Battle of Somme, where we just, everybody killing each other over nothing. All right, let's see if we want to establish range. No. This is the first 15 minutes of trade, right? Just complete sloppiness. And that's the other cool thing about the stock market, or the other terrible thing about the stock market, is that this is the reason why you really need to be very flexible, because there is no pattern. Every day, the patterns are just different enough that they could completely upend you if you're not careful, in terms of watching it and trading them. All right. Let's see if this Christmas tree holds. Now, if this Christmas tree holds, I actually will go long on this, even though it's, ideally I'd want a secondary simple setup, because this is sort of a combination of we're breaking through fresh highs and trying to hold the fresh highs. So 18, 19, 20 seconds left. Nine seconds. All right, I'm long. I think I'm at 47. I'm in the 47 account. Oh, wow. Second stop in a row, just complete rejection. Oof. Just a total slam. Whoa. Okay. Now, really, really going to be careful on the next one. Just simply trade confirmation. Okay. Like two very, very, well, one of them was sort of a bad execution stop, but this one is just really unexpected. Wow. This is a complete flip. This is a very, very toxic environment for us. So we're going to be very careful taking the trades. This is actually, by the way, a great example of how the fact that I'm going through all my accounts, I'm not letting, any bad trade fester here. So far, just slight bruises on each account, which I'm going to be able to come back. I'm still 7 out of 10 green on the screen so far today, but I gotta, wow, look at this, look at that. Okay, so now I actually do have a legitimate trade, and this is, which account is this? This is going to be the next one, 52. Is it me, or is TradeEvade, like, I feel like the quotes are delayed here. Everything is really, really herky jerky on the price action. Now, if I get stopped out here, then that's it. I just have to accept that the price action today is not conducive, because this is a clean, simple scalp. The other thing is that the vol here is just kind of insane. This thing just went down 30 points to the downside and rallied back up. Basically, it's not that I'm not getting direction right. It's just that I'm getting stopped out because my stops are too tight. But I'm not going to increase my stops just for this price action. I'm just going to let it. Oh, look at that. It's going to stop taking me out again. Wow. This is just crazy at how much retrace volatility there is. Just very little continuity. Look at this crap. No. All right. On to the next account. 53. So we are getting direction right, but it's retracing back against us too deeply. It is really, really bad chop. Yeah, this is it's really, really fast. This is another reason why trading small, of course, now is key, because this is sort of like, this is the kind of price action. And this happens in the market, is where you're getting the signal, huge retrace signal up, like you're just literally losing. You're just losing out because the retrace is this way and then very, very sharp this way, and you have only this much of a budget for a stop. Now you can say, oh, I could have had a bigger budget, but then the point is, all you're going to do is just wind up losing more money when that stop gets hit. So this is what? This is 20 minutes into the price. I look at this shit. What is going on? Is there some news on Iran? What the fuck is happening? It just feels like the worst kind of indecision I've seen in a long time. All right, let's see. Oh, this was I kind of like dismissed this. It was an Axios story 2 hours ago. Like, maybe this is what I thought it was. It was just like a usual bullshit Axios story. I didn't think it was anything market moving, but yeah. I guess maybe that's what the market is freaking out about. I can't tell. It's really hard. Yeah, that's not, it's not a bad idea, Nico. If you're not vibing it, remember the difference for me is that these are tiny. I have very, very tiny losses, and I'm still 6'4". I mean, it's really kind of getting ugly on my sheet here, as I'm almost going to be even Steven on wins to losses. But because I'm trading super small, and because if the price action does indeed find a rhythm, I'll hopefully be able to profit from it, but we'll see. What is this? This is 74, and what was the high here? 79, 74, 50, 79, 75. Yeah. Wow. Well, we absolutely should have been, I guess our ears should have been perked when we saw this very, very choppy price action first 15 minutes, because we haven't seen that in a long time. Usually we're seeing move down, move up, or kind of a slow, low volatility burn. Yeah, today is exactly, well, yeah, gold is a better trade, but we don't trade gold in New York. But I'm sure, I'm sure gold, which if we looked at the gold, probably look at gold. Gold has like look at these beautiful signals in gold, right? Boom, boom, boom. All good. Yeah, this is what we want, but this is what we get. Yeah, I think that's true that we have minutes today, And usually minutes, sometimes you get a lot of two-way trade, but this is very unusual. The minutes shouldn't be a function. It's just, there are days where you have a lot of competing opinions and nobody has any dominance. So we have to leave it be. The thing that's really, really destabilizing today is we have these massive vol candles. Usually when you have a huge volatility candle, like something that rises 50, 60 points in 1 minute, you have continuity. And we don't. Like, we just have this massive vol followed by a massive reversal vol. That, I think, that's what's tripping people up. Because usually volatility leads to continuity. This is leading to just pure reversal. Like, just think about it. You have all these buyers, and then 1 minute later, you have all these sellers. You have all these buyers. Like, that's not normal human behavior. Human behavior is people join crowds. They don't just have like one crowd, then another crowd, then another crowd, then another crowd, and just massive waves of back and forth. And that's what's making it difficult to trade, blowing up our setups, and also probably confusing the algos too. You know what this is good for? Somebody was talking about this. It's good for the straddle trade. All right, getting a Christmas tree signal. I'm going to wait on the confirmation for simple scalp. Let's see if we can get that. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do one more, because again, I'm trading very small. Ooh, this breaks through the highs. Let's see if this is gonna finally hold. 6, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Long. All right, I'm at 53. Again, man, what's with this refresh rate? It's really, really bad. And almost there. Come on. 88, 98. There we go. All right, so now I have Christmas tree kind of done. And I'm actually going to rotate. Now I'm going to rotate, preserve my profit here, go to my next account 54, and see if we have a continuity trade. Now we're going to see if the continuity trade works, if the simple scalp works. Go to the 54 account. See if we can hold the trade here. 3, 2, 1, boom. We're on 15. Man, you guys seeing that? You seeing that really, really bad? Is it? I wonder if it's my internet or whatever, because I'm seeing like 5, 10 ticks and then it's just not refreshing. 17, 18, 19, 24. There we go. Good. All right. Finally, we established our trades. So, Nico, here's my point to you. Like, you were saying we have 3 bad trades and you quit. The great thing about, at least my approach, is 3 bad trades have literally all those trades are going to be hopefully going to be recovered by, well, now actually I have 4. So I have 4 bad trades. So hopefully I've recovered most of them by the end of the day. But if you think about this, very often the markets will do this shit until they finally take the proper direction, the kind of structure that we need. And so that's why I kind of wanted to stick around. I didn't want to quit on 3 bad trades because I knew this was just simply chop city, and that there was a potential here for better trading. Now, you know, if we went to 5 negative trades in a row, yeah, I would have probably just simply said, that's it, we're done for the day. But the beauty of kind of like trading small is you can withhold or withstand the chop pain and come back and finally trade the proper structures. So hopefully some of you guys took the trades with me. These 2 worked very nicely. Now we're going to rotate through the stack, because that's the key thing. The key thing is, I got to tell you, really the most important thing that I've discovered, which I constantly keep learning because God knows I break that rule, is when you lose, just get out of the trade. Change accounts. Sorry. So when you lose, change accounts. Yeah, I'm on Spectrum. What the fuck? Like, I don't understand why. Are you guys, is your Tradevate executing fast? I'm just trying to figure out if it's just my internet connection today, or well, Carlos, here's my point, that it wasn't, right? That it wasn't. He was telling you, be patient enough to wait for the breakout, right? Which is what we got now, and we finally got the good trades. So I'm trying to tell you guys that the lesson you think you should be learning is not the lesson you should be learning. Markets are very good at torturing you, right? And you need to just withstand the torture to see the truth. Because most people quit trading over here, and we kept trading over here, and that's fine. You know, we finally got the breakout and the moves, right? I would put some P&L on the board. Now we can relax. We'll see what the next trades are. We are actually, look at this way, we're challenging London highs, New York highs, right? See if we want to take it back up to 25,000. No, free flock. We don't trade Forex over here, baby. We just trade NASDAQ. We're futures only in the morning. I don't even trade Forex at all. But if you want to trade Forex, you can come join us. And my partner, Kathy, trades Forex. Here's the link for everybody. VWAP had the breakout. Just the irony of the thing is, I was like, let's kill the VWAP. Oh, that's funny. Let's look at the VWAP. What did the VWAP show us? Yeah, this was. Look at this. Remember I talked to you about. But by the way, this was false. This was true and false. Here's what I mean. This is why markets will drive you crazy if you let them. So we love. I noticed this setup before. We love the Christmas tree over VWAP, right? Here's Christmas tree over VWAP, right? You take the long here, you're absolutely correct directionally, but you get stopped out on the retraces. It just stops you out cold, right? Finally, the second Christmas tree over VWAP over here, that one, soars through the sky. Yes, we only trade NASDAQ during the daytime. That's it, baby. For rule number 1 of trading is focus on one thing, period, right? Even when we trade NASDAQ and gold side by side, it gets a little too hairy. Scalping is the art of the focus. One of the F in BFF stands for focus. All right. The other F stands for whatever you want it to stand for. So yeah, Christmas tree on a VWAP is, I think, a kind of a really interesting, good trade, right? Obviously, like over here, the only problem is that, you will get these. Well, here's how I would trade this. Okay. This is sort of like, this is, if I'm day trading, like let's create a really interesting strategy of Christmas tree and VWAP, right? In honor of my friend Austin. By the way, fresh session highs. I really should be taking this trade, but I'm not. I already missed it, so I'm going to let it go. But like, we like green dot over fresh session highs. Like this is definitely would have been a good trade. I'm sorry I didn't pull the trigger. I got distracted. So in addition to like our standard simple scalp model, you know, green dot over fresh session highs, red dot over fresh session lows, always a good proposition. If you came in long here 69, the high here was 80, just enough to get you done, just enough to get you done on the long side, right? Is there a correlation to gold and Nasdaq? No. Two different assets. But anyways, here's the idea. So Christmas tree over VWAP, right? Short, right? You only stop yourself out if you get a Christmas tree over VWAP the other way around. So like that's your stop. Your target obviously is dynamic. You know, you kind of try to manage it, right? So you take the trade here, you get stopped out, right? You get a second trade here, right? You get a second trade here. Now the second trade just simply holds. So if you're short here, you're 80, you get stopped out at 46. So you're out 25 points, right? But here, you know, you get into the trade, and let's say whatever, you know, you lost 25 points on the first one. So then you keep that as your initial target. You're short here, 25, right? This drops down to 800 at plus 25. So maybe you give up half. Let's say you take 2 units on the second one. Give up half here, go to break even, then try to make another 25. And boom, now suddenly, you know, you're plus 50 on the trade. So totally viable, right? Totally viable as kind of an idea. Then again, although honestly here, this is insane. Like if you were using Christmas tree over VWAP, you would still have been in this trade at 64 all the way down to 93. You would have had like 100-point stop. You would have had to endure a really, really big stop. And then of course, you know, you had a massive, massive move upstairs. Wow, look at this. Now we're at 25,000. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What are we, 56? Which account am I in? Yeah, I want to be in the 56 account. Wow, 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 wow. We are really, really taking highs. All right, I'm long 56s. All right, and I took like 7 because, you know, we're really running hard. But this is the hardest trade to take is the break to the higher highs, but that is the sweetest trade. We could have had like literally 3 winning trades here on this continuity trade. I just didn't look at. I didn't take it. Yeah. I mean, this is all good trades, right? Sorry, I got sort of, you know, dissuaded. I got sidetracked with this whole Christmas tree over VWAP. That is it's a pretty decent strategy, but you know, in this high volatility environment, you would have had to have like 100-point stop, right, in order to endure it. Look at this, just keep pressing. Like now the shorts are just dead. It completely destroyed the shorts. This is the 6th or 7th break of the highs. So I'm not, although it still works. We could have still made more money. I should have pressed you guys. I'm sorry. It's rare that we get, this was a really, really big fake out move today, right? Everybody got lulled and like, you know, Nico was like, oh, let's quit now. And in fact, it turned into the most brutal one-way trade possible. So we only took like 3 of these 8 opportunities because I was just as surprised as you are, and also I got myself distracted with other ideas. But should always keep our eye open. The green dot over session highs is always a good setup until it fails. You just kind of trade that until it fails. That should be the rule. Because if it's, it could, in one of those things, it can go into a 6-7 trade run. And if you're trading across, 9-10 accounts, that means every account gets filled up with green and only one account, hits the red. That should be the motto of what we need to be doing here. All right, we're going to go to 57 now. I'm just going to rotate. You know what? I am just going to rotate, and then we'll play it as it comes. I don't know why my chart is like refreshing like this in a very I don't know if it's my internet. Is your refresh rate and everything else really, really smooth today? Is it just me having issues with the internet? Or is everybody having like kind of an issue with Tradebait? Data feed was, yeah. So John says his data feed is really choppy. Neil says it's good there. Refresh rate is smooth. So maybe, I think it's probably, John, it's probably our internets then. It's something, I don't know. Spectrum is playing games with me. Everybody's as normal. Yes, so it must be mine. Some kind of, I actually upgraded the Mac OS. It could be another thing that could be driving it crazy. Who knows? All right, 29,932. You short that. Good for you, Rumor. Let's see how much you can squeeze out of it. You short 32s. Yeah, well charts is good. On the VWAP, it's just 1 minute. It's just the standard VWAP with just one band. Band multiplier 1 minute, and very thick. There's nothing more complicated than that. You want to try trading NASDAQ? Well, come join. The link is pinned for Apex. It's $18. You'll spend less on a cappuccino and a croissant in most places. To get a $25,000 account, you get free. What do you call them? Quotes, free trades, and everything else. So you can try the eval account and go nuts. Everybody's talking about well charts. I think we need to give a little love to well charts today. Let me see how that's doing. Okay, log in. Come on. See, it's my internet. Look at this shit. All right, while this is doing its thing, we're going to look. Yeah, which one is the VWAP anchor? Do you guys know the name of that indicator? Let's set that up while we have time right now. I'm going to go to indicators, go VWAP. Anchored, auto anchored. Is that the one we should use? Auto anchored. All right, let's kill this one. Let's go over here to settings, inputs, auto anchored, bands, just one band. Let's make it style. Upper band is going to be white and super thick, and say okay. Why don't I have the other bands on here? I don't want the other bands. Oh, let me go auto anchor. I have those unchecked. Why are they showing up? Maybe I'll uncheck all of those. Okay. So this is the auto anchored one. Why the fuck do I still have this blue one in here? I don't know why I have this lines. Just annoying me aesthetically. Am I on the right one, guys? Like, is this the one? See, I have just the one band calculation standard, deviation, no offsets, high, low, auto. Oh, you want me to click it on the ankle? The blue line should be the actual VWAP. Oh, the blue line is the actual VWAP, and this is the anchored VWAP off of this. Okay. All right, sounds cool. Hey, Mr. Bear, your 312 is running up your ass. I'll be covered. Oh, Christmas tree. Christmas tree. Christmas tree. Show me some love. Which account am I in? 57? 57. We're in the 57 account. Now we're going to wait to see if we can get a continuity confirm here. Back through session highs. I always love guys who drop into my chat to announce the trade that I had already made that already looks really, really good in retrospect. Because, like, you know, let's say prices are falling, like, oh, I'm short from the top, right? And I never say that. I never say anything because I know they're bullshit. But then I always wait. And of course, you know, the guy who posted, oh, I'm short from 312. You're down 20 points right now, asshole, in your great call. But if the trade was like down to 28.8, he would have said, oh, look, now I made so much money. It's always really easy to trade in retrospect. Try to trade in real time, my friends. That's the skill. All right, getting the possible simple scalp. It's a little bit of a danger point because it's a double top, right, against the session highs. But we're gonna bet if we get the triangle, we're gonna bet on the simple scalp. But we don't. We don't get it just yet. The next one maybe. We'll see. There's always the next trade. That's the motto of scalping. There's always the next trade, right? There we go. 32 seconds left. Let's see if we get any continuity here. Broke through the 51s. 20 seconds left. Let's see if we can hold it. Seven, six. Got to make sure we hold it. We're not going to pull the trigger until the candle ends. 1, 2, boom. We're long. All right. Took 18 out of it. Not bad. Not bad. Actually goes full target, which is good. All right, awesome. The other account's building more green, so we're gonna go to 58. Oh, I'm 58, not 57, 58. That actually went full target. I took like 8 out of that instead of taking the full 20. Should have just simply let it go, but that was good. Yeah, 5 in a row. Is that 5 in a row for me? Good. I know you're right. It is 5 in a row because I'm looking at my of my accounts. I'm going straight down the accounts. But that's what I mean about like, you got to withstand the pain, and the markets start turning into a direction. This is really actually like our market. This is just now this market just went insane. Now we're actually 121 basis points parabolically to the upside. Gold is also up nice and strong. Oh, I sound like a fucking genius because I was super bullish on Liz Clayman yesterday, while everybody else was like, I'm like, yeah, we're going higher. Don't worry about it. And she loved it actually. So, I tell you a funny story. I was just thinking about this yesterday. So, you guys know I used to do CNBC for like 20 years, and my contract ended last year. So that, Fox has been trying to call me for like forever. And if I said to them, okay, fine, my contract was ended. You guys, if you guys ever need me, come get me. But then I started thinking about like, because the truth of the matter is I do not hold any stocks. Like, I know it's the shoemaker's sons go shoeless, right? My account is hilarious. My retirement account has like just been sitting in cash forever, just because I haven't had the patience to do it. Sometimes I'll do a little bit of option straddles in it and stuff like that, but I just don't pay any attention to it. I know it's really, really bad. You can all yell at me forever for that. But the funny part is, like, my wife is a hedge fund manager. She fucking hates the fact that I go on TV because she goes, you do no work. You do absolutely zero fucking work. You don't have any of the models of all these companies. You just like read shit 10 minutes before, like an hour beforehand. You synthesize all the reports everybody else says, and you go out there and you make calls, right? And I was like, you're absolutely right. That's exactly what I do. The only difference now is I actually use Claude to help me now instead of using, Seeking Alpha. And the irony of the whole thing is just precisely because I don't have any positions in these stocks. I don't give a shit. I am completely and totally emotionless about this, and I can look at it objectively from a purely, narrative point of view. What are they doing? Where are they going? Where's the position? I have had, like, I was thinking about this. I've had some ridiculously great calls that if you go into the archives, for example, I was long GE. I suggested people go long GE when it was 8. It was long Chipotle when it was like 200 on the food scare, because I was like, this shit is not going away. The food scare is an unbelievable time to buy. And that's the irony of the whole thing, is that when you don't give a shit, you actually do so much better in investing than when you have everything vested on your idea. And it's just really, really funny in terms of how how the game works. Just go to CNBC, pull up any of my clips, and you'll see, holy shit, these were like 200% winners. And it's all because, I just looked at the story objectively instead of trying to have a whole position on it. Yeah, after I resolve, question, after you resolve, do you continue to trade the neon labels? Yes, as long as they set me up. Remember, that's the beauty of this new setup, is it will continue in the trend. Sometimes we'll have 2 or 3 of these. Now we're getting close to maybe, topping out and the trend turning a little bit to the downside, at which point we're going to start printing red Christmas trees, at which point we may be able to have some shorts. But like, this is a super, like, honestly, the best environment for this shit was this one. Chop up, make money, chop down, make money, chop up, make money, right? Really, really clean, lots and lots of signals, so on and so forth. When we get a super strong trend, we only have 1 or 2 of the labels through the trend, because it's basically retrace, resumption. That's the scalp that we're trying to trade. But yeah, it's it's absolutely that story. But it looks like we are running a little bit out of gas. Yeah, Rick, here's the link to Dots. I'm putting it right now. It's inside the. Thanks for reminding me. Actually, everybody who's new, I see a lot of new people join the room. Hi, nice to have you guys. By the way, check out. This is the web page for the whole structure of my playbook, and if you click this, you'll get the download. Right? I've already downloaded. This is the PDF. You'll get the download. Okay, so it's all there for you. You can have it as a resource. I'll post this up every single day. You know, it'd be really cool. I was just thinking about this. If somebody created, I guess we could put the footprint on the bottom, right? I mean, we did put the footprint on the bottom, but you know how some people do a volume profile on the side like this? Like, it'd be really cool if somebody did the footprint on the side as a side indicator to the chart, so you could actually see, oh, you know, this candle, the buying is coming in, the sun coming. Like, footprint on the side would be a really, really cool thing. I wonder if I could. I think I might actually try to code that. What do you guys think? Am I wrong, or is that structurally impossible? You know how like the footprint is. Where's my footprint? Do we have footprint? What is this? What is this like looking like? I can't even tell. What the hell is this footprint? Show footprint, show cumulative bar data. Wow, what the fuck is this? Show background colors. Yeah. What the fuck is this? What's the regular footprint that Sam was talking about? Wait, hang on. I'm going to mute the dots just to see what this is showing. How is this useful at all? Okay. All right, we're going to get rid of this footprint. Oh, we have speaking of which, let's get in business. We have a Christmas tree sell. Looking for the red triangle. Where am I at 58? I'm on the 58. Let's go to 58. Are we ready to trade 58? We're at 58. Very good. Okay, red triangle, 37 seconds left. Let's see if the turn happens here. Yeah, delta volume. Right. Sorry, that's what it is. It's the delta volume. I'm gonna look that up. All right, so this clearly it's not going to show us. I'm going to wait. I doubt this is going to drop sharp, so we're not going to get a signal anyways. So that's fine. It's the delta volume, right? Delta volume delta. Jesus Christ. Okay, so here's volume delta on the bottom, right? On the bottom, kind of, and it's showing, you know, cumulative stuff. What I really liked about Sam's was the stacking and everything else. It had stacks and a little bit positive volume. So this is when the negative delta came in here. All the delta was negative over here against a session high. This is interesting. This created session highs against negative delta. So, you know, you kind of a divergence, right, of the move. But now we get positive delta. I mean, we'll keep this on right now. but having it on the side like that would be really, really cool. Actually, you know, I hadn't looked. This is interesting. We haven't really correlated delta against breakouts. This was all crazy. Nothing would have worked here, but here's delta, positive break, right? Continuity. Here's one over here, still positive, yeah. I'm actually curious here. This is negative. You're not going to. I don't think volume. I think in a way, price and volume are kind of confirming each other. So you really don't get any incremental value, in my opinion, out of delta. Especially during low volume situations. I guess maybe during New York session, you get some delta. Yes, Amazon Ola, right. Right. We're gonna trade. Asia session today. Asia. Everybody's like seems to be really loving Asia session, so we're gonna definitely trade Asia session tonight, 7 o'clock to 8:30, with Ola and gold. So it'll be good. Oh, sell. All right. Thanks, guys. I'll take a look at that. Sorry, guys. And we get the trade. So you know what I want to kind of explain to you why the simple scalp works. It's kind of a stupid trade for, but it is a simple scalp. Is because here's the thing that I think is important, and that's why, you know, guys, delta is fine. You guys can do all you want with delta, but here's my point. Everything that you really care about is encapsulated in price, right? And I know it's a chicken and the egg. Like, what's, you know, does volume drive price? Does price drive volume? Sometimes one, sometimes the other. But the point of kind of scalping is to really not to get distracted with too much shit. So one of the reasons why this is such a great indicator, by the way, getting another signal here, is because what's happening here is price shows you selling pressure, right? But not, you know, as a preparatory signal. And then over here, it's a confirmatory signal. It says there is more selling pressure. And none of this stuff, if you're looking at delta, you're like, oh, delta is positive, delta is negative. There's nothing of value on the volume side that can make you think that you are in a right position. Whereas here, it was absolutely pretty clear. We were against session highs. Again, price indicator with selling pressure. And therefore, the probability of it coming down, pretty strong, right? Pretty strong. Sorry, I'm not taking this trade because I got to run, guys. But it's just a good example of why I really like this setup. It's not perfect. It's going to get swung out in. First of all, only one of these things truly failed, right? Just this one, right? I fucked up on all the other entries, but it's not perfect, but it is very good. It's really clean, especially during trend moves. And the important part is if you're patient enough to sort of wait for that 1-2 combo, sell signal and a confirmatory move, you're going to be in great shape in almost all time without distracting yourself with any other information, right? Without distracting. Look at that. That's the second one that works, right? And you can just keep doing that and keep doing that. Because remember, once we get into a relatively good rhythm, you're getting one trade every 15 minutes. So in this case, we had a little bit of a gap because we had a big run, but now the trades are starting to pop. So I'm going to leave it to you guys, but I think the key thing here is don't overcomplicate. We have a good thing. Don't overcomplicate it. Let's just trade it this way. Like I said, let's just trade it, 1,000 samples, and then we can try to draw more intelligent ideas out of it as to how it's working, where it's working, what it's working. But there's no doubt that price shows you performance, right? The price shows you pressure, and pressure leads hopefully to performance in a sense that you're looking to that directionality on the near-term basis. Hopefully, you guys agree with me on that because definitely true over lots of I think it was this a 6th trade in a row, 7th trade in a row. If I had taken that one instead of ranting and raving, right? What was the signal here? The signal was in 35s and it went down to 25 almost, right? Yeah, absolutely. You would have had it. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave you be. Maybe I'll stop a little bit later myself. I'm fooling around with the idea, not fooling around, but I really want to do this. I think I'm going to do this starting next week. We're going to do a London trade session, which is going to be like actually 12 to maybe 2 o'clock, where we trade this little chop environment with our signals on 8-cap. I'm going to use that with MT5. 8-cap has great spreads. So the point being is you could make money on CFD scalping with my strategy because they're super tight spreads. Like the gold spreads are amazing. So those of you guys who are in the CFD business, we're going to start trading the London close trade with all these ideas. Okay. So I will. Nico says, "Told you not to quit." Thank you. Peter says 7 in a row. That's it. We banked 7 in a row. Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Super fun. And wait for next week. We're gonna do more cool stuff for those of you guys who are in CFD land. We're gonna trade with 8-cap on their really good spreads with my indicator, which is very cool. And actually the cool thing about 8-cap is both TradingView and MT5, right? So what I think I might do is I think we're going to go to split screen. That's be really cool because we can run the indicator in one and the MT5 structure in the other one. So all good. Yeah, I'm going to try to set that up visually so it's really going to be really good. Your first New York trading session with my indicator. You're really cooking. I'm cooking. Yeah, thank you, Peter. I'm glad you like it. You're a true degenerate trading with us down under, where it's like 1 o'clock. Where is it? It's 2:30 in the morning, Sydney. Holy shit! It is late, my friend. All right. Have a good night. Everybody enjoy. Have a good day. I see everybody tonight for Asia. Okay. Everybody enjoy. Take care, guys. Bye bye.